Hello guys, so today we're going to talk about the most good economies in the world. So let's start. Um, Gross domestic product is estimate of the total value of finished goods and service produced in a country borders during a specific period, usually a year. GDP is popularly used to estimate the size of country's economy. GDP is the most commonly measured by using the expediture method which calculates GDP by adding up sending of new consumer goods, new investment spending, government spending, and the value of net exports, export minus imports. Throughout most of the world countries, GDP calculate with the rise of different economic cycles against a backdrop of long-term economic growth. Over time, however, it's interesting to see that despite these up and downs, the top economies as measured by GDP down budge easily from the position they hold. Compared to the top 25 economies in 2000, our research had found that only two countries in the top 25, Thailand and Indonesia, weren't the before. That said, there have been some big movers within the list. China and India moved up in second place and fifth place, respectively, having been in sixth place and 13th place in 200. Further down the list, Indonesia on one of the two aforementioned never comes to the list, valued forward from 27th largest economy in 2000 to 16 in 2020. Well, the land leapt from 32 place all the way to 24th. While 2020 is the most recent annual data available for these countries, the COVID pandemic has major impact on economies around the world. Because it has slashed um, energy prices, lowered tourism and trade volumes, and shuttered stores due to quarantine. Countries have experienced record-breaking declines in GDP, although many countries had begun to recover in the third quarter of 2020. The vast majority of the top 25 countries experienced negative GDP growth for the year. This article mentions several popular ways to measure GDP, all of which are drawn from the World Bank database. Nominal GDP is current USA dollar. It is the most basic and common way of measuring and comparing GDP among countries using local prices and currencies converted into USA dollars by using currency market. This is a number that was used to determine the country's ranking in the top 25 list. Purchasing power parity (PPP) adjusted GDP in the current international dollars. Adjusting currencies based on what based of goods they could buy in those countries rather than currency exchange rates. This is a way to adjust for the difference in the cost of living among countries. GDP growth is the annual percentage growth rate of nominal GDP in the local prices and currencies, which estimates how fast an economy is growing. GDP per capita is the current USA dollar. This is nominal GDP divided by the number of people in a country. GDP per capita measures how much a country's economy produced per person rather than in total. This can also act as a very rough measure of income or standard of living for individuals living in country. Top 10 countries by nominal GDP at current USA dollars exchange rates. First place is United States, second China, third Japan, fourth Germany, then United Kingdom, India, France, Italy, Canada, and South Korea. The United States economy is the largest in the world, as measured by nominal GDP. The biggest contribution to the GDP is the economy's service sector, which includes financial rates estates, ensuring professional and business service, and healthcare. The United States has relatively open economy, facilitating flexible business, investments, and foreign direct investment in the country. It is the world's dominating geopolitical power and is able to maintain large external national debt. As the producer of the world's primary reserve currency, the United States economy is at the forefront of technology in many industries, but it faces rising threats in the form of economic inequality, rising healthcare and society safety net costs, deteriorating infrastructure. Second is China, has the world's second largest nominal GDP in current dollars and the largest in terms of PPP, with the annual growth that constantly outpaces that one of the United States. China may China may be on track because of the largest economy in the world by nominal GDP in the year to come. As China has progressively opened its economy over the past 4 decades, economic development and living standards have greatly improved as the government has gradually phased out colonizing agrititude and industry allowed greater flexibility for the market prices and increased the autonomy of business, foreign and domestic trade and investment have taken off. Coupled with an industrial policy that encouraged domestic manufacturing, this has made China the world number one exporter. Despite this advantages, China faced some significant challenges such as rapidly aging population and severe environmental degradation. Third is Japan. Japan is the third largest economy in the world. Its GDP crossed the 5 trillion mark in 2019. Strong cooperation between government and industry and advanced technological know-how have built Japan's manufacturing and export-oriented economy. Many major Japanese businesses are organized as networks of interlinked companies known as kyrenetsu. After the last decade of the 1990s, the impact of the global great resignation, Japan has been upstick in the growth in recent under the regions and dependent of energy imports. Especially after the general shutdowns, it is nuclear power industry following the 2011 Fukushima disaster. Japan has also struggled with a rapidly aging population. So guys, I think it's enough for today. Uh, Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.